Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm a dive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
Clay Clark, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. I want everybody to know that the Thrivers out there watching from coast to coast, planet to planet, country to country, intergalactic. We have Thrivers. My understanding is we have Thrivers in 36 countries and now in other galaxies.
That was not my understanding, but that's fascinating.
Well, I just want you guys to know I'm going makeup free today.
Wow.
And so they're not looking at an enhanced deal. I keep it raw. I keep it real. It's like the Wu-Tang Clan.
No performance enhancing
It's like
drugs.
the Wu-Tang Clan of business school. We don't need a bunch of mics. We don't need a bunch of editing, which is raw.
I've always respected the, I guess, organic nature of Clay Clark. You're more organic than a lot of the kale I see in Whole Foods on a daily basis. It blows my mind.
Well, it's because of all the free-range chicken eggs I eat.
Right. You don't do the performance-enhancing drugs. And I
Back
appreciate that.
to you.
Well, today we are talking about beginning with the end in mind. Okay, and this is titled "Build Your Reputation and Invest in Your Practical Education to Increase Your Compensation." Okay,
Boom.
That's the goal here.
Okay.
But what was interesting to me is how many people don't understand what their goals are.
Yeah.
Don't know how to. They don't have clearly written out goals for their compensation or reputation or education, anything like that. And what's fascinating to me is I read on Forbes, they did a study actually of the 1979 Harvard MBA program.
Yeah.
So they interviewed grad students, okay, when they graduated, and this is what they said. This is what they found here. We're quoting this. Only 3% of these students here had written goals and plans. 13% had goals, but they weren't in writing, and 84% had no goals at all. 10 years later, the same group was interviewed again, and the result was absolutely mind-blowing, says Forbes. The 13% of the class who had goals but did not write them down were earning twice as much the amount of the 84% who had no goals. And the 3% who had written goals were earning, on average, 10 times as much as the other 97% of the class combined. This is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Is there really something to writing your goals down?
Well, I know for me, I have my goals written down every day, and they affect me greatly. And I know that as we've interviewed millionaires all over the country, every time I've worked with a millionaire or a multimillionaire, or we've interviewed them on Thrive, or I've interacted with them at speaking events or whatever, they all know their goals. And what's interesting is that, like, I had a goal specifically that this morning I had certain things that had to get done. I have a big goal,
right?
And one of the big goals we have on Thrive right now is we want to increase your ability to find the content that you want. Okay. Because my big goal is we want to be able to help millions of people who want to mentor millions. That's the big goal, mentor millions. So everything that I need to do to get there, I'm willing to do. And so this morning, my alarm goes off at 3 a.m. And guess what I do? I get up. Why? Because I knew of my goal. Well, what time did I go to bed last night? I went to bed at 9:30. Why? Because my goal triggered, hey, I've got to sleep 5.5 or 6 hours, and I need to get there. So everything I do in my life is around that goal. And with my family, I have family goals. And so why do I come home a little bit early if I can? Or why do I get up early so that I can make sure I get home by 5:30 or 6? Why do I bring my wife with me on speaking events? Why do I bring my kids with me when I can?
You're beginning with the end in mind.
That's right. Those goals are the number one driving forces. I turn down speaking events if I can't bring my wife a lot of times. I turn down events. We talk about this. I turn down events if they're on Thursdays because I have stuff I've committed to. But people who don't have goals, we just start saying yes to anything. And if we're saying yes to anything, pretty soon we're hitchhiking through life and we've been taken way off path and we're getting to a point where we don't even know where we're trying to get to anymore.
But this is a huge issue, though, because very few people, one, know what their end is.
Yeah.
They can't begin with their end in mind. But two, the people that do have some kind of idea of where they want to end up often don't write it down. Now, this was fascinating, though. According to Rich Habits Institute, 67% of wealthy people write down their goals versus 17% of poor people. These are not people that just have goals, actually writing them down.
Yeah.
But this is huge. This is a game changer for us.
Having been on both sides of it, I can say that 100% of the time that I was drifting, I did not have goals. And I'm just telling you guys, you got to have your written goals. I mean, I have very specific goals for today, just for today.
Why do we have to write them down, though?
Because if you don't, well, okay, if it's okay, I want to show you two
Please,
examples
yeah.
if you don't.
You gonna make a little claymation for us?
I might here. Now, this is the deal.
Whoa.
This is the deal. Every time that you buy something,
Okay.
so if you own a thing,
I own a
this
thing.
equals an obligation. Oh no.
What?
So here's the deal. We're in the process right now of looking at buying a property, and I want a bunch of silky chickens. I want the silky chickens are kind of the diva chickens, you know?
Yeah.
I want to get like 50 trees. I want to get a pond. I want the whole deal. But when you own those things, you now have an obligation, right? If I buy the trees, I got to water the trees.
Okay.
So if you buy a TV, you buy a car, you buy a TV, you got to what? You buy a car, you got to buy that insurance. That insurance costs some money. You got a TV, some people finance that TV. If you finance that TV, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. Well, you exchange, here we go. You have to exchange that money, right? To get that money,
Sure.
You have to exchange time. Oh no. And time is the one thing you can't make more of.
Right.
So people who don't have their goals written down, they start buying TVs, buying cars, buying boats, getting mortgages, getting student debt. That's the problem. They look up, they say, I'm 32 years old, I owe money on a TV, I owe money for my car, I owe money for college, and I don't have any time left in my schedule to even think because I have to work 100% of my day just to make enough money to pay for those things.
So you're saying to write those down keeps you focused.
Your goals should affect everything. So if you have your goal up here, if you put your goal up here right now, this is your goal, you should ask yourself, does this get me closer to my goal or farther away? Does this get me closer or farther away? Every decision, does this get me closer to my goal or farther
That's what
away?
we should be asking ourselves.
Every single time you make a decision, does this get me closer to or farther away from my goals?
And to start with, I guess you have to have those clearly defined.
Absolutely.
If you don't, you can't compare each decision you make.
So what's the action for you right now? I mean,
What is it?
You definitely, if you're watching this, you definitely need to take the time right now, hit the pause button, and write down your goals. Define them. We have the tools for you right here on Thrive. There's the notes section.
Yeah.
There's the time management system. Put your notes in there. Throw them in the idea vault.
Yep.
Put them on. I mean, I would honestly write your goals down. Tape them to your computer monitor.
Stephen Covey, for I guess an additional notable quotable
Yeah.
here. Stephen Covey, he's the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is a life-changing book. If you haven't read it, that's incredible. He says, start with the end in mind. Always. You start with the end in mind. And he uses that throughout the entire book. I highly recommend that book if this idea is huge for you.
I'm going to give you one more example because I want people to get this.
Please.
The goal at Thrive for me, the whole goal of Thrive for us is to mentor millions. That's why we're doing this. We've got guys that call in sometimes and say, I can't afford a book. What do? We give them a book.
Take it.
Why? Because we want to help mentor people.
Right.
The goal is not to be America's most profitable company. The goal is to help people grow a business. Now, personally, with our HR, I have a goal to like every single person who works with us. Tony Shea, who started Zappos, or was the second guy, he kind of joined into Zappos. He invested in Zappos, became the CEO. He wants to have a group of employees he likes.
Right.
A lot of times people say, how come you don't want that person working for us? I say, because I don't like them.
Right.
Why? Because if you don't like endless Star Wars references and occasional little Tim Tebow outbursts,
Right.
and you don't want a little bit of humor in your life, and you don't want to get somewhere, you're not going to like working at Thrive.
And then you find yourself with like USA Today saying 70% of people hate their jobs.
That's true.
And you don't want to get there.
Do you pronounce it USA Today, or do you? I thought it was USA.
Oh no, I do USA Today. It's
USA. I thought it was USA
tomato,
Today.
tomato. For
Okay.
now,
I'll probably stop saying it that
we'll
way.
just go with USA Today for now.
Okay, thank you.
Just as an overview here, what we're talking about today is we're going to dive into 3 principles, okay? And the goal is that you walk away with at least 3 action steps.
Boom.
We don't like the theory, 3 action steps, okay? So the first one here is why we must begin with the end in mind. That's the first principle.
Yep.
The second is the importance of building your reputation. We're going to explain why that's important, why you need to invest time in that. 3, invest in your practical education to increase your compensation, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That is what we're covering today.
Come
so,
on.
let's go ahead and jump right in it, okay?
Yeah.
Principle number 1, we must begin with the end in mind. I got a little notable quotable here.
Okay, come on,
All right,
come
you
on,
ready?
come on.
This is from Napoleon Hill. Have you heard of him?
He blows my mind every time.
You've heard of him, okay.
Just give it
Is
to
it
me.
true you kind of named your son after him?
Well, I actually did. It's Aubrey Napoleon Hill Clark.
Now, you wanted his first name to be Napoleon Hill.
I did, but my wife would not let me.
Okay, well,
I'm not bitter though. My wife is a beautiful, beautiful lady, and she's always right. I'm
out of
always
your
wrong.
league.
She's out of my league. I don't know how I even got her. I'm just gonna keep tricking her.
Continue on here.
Sorry.
Napoleon Hill, he says, cherish your dreams as they are children of your soul, the blueprint of your ultimate achievements. Okay? Cherish your dreams as they are children of your soul, the blueprints of your ultimate achievements. Now, Clay, can you just, seems like we're getting into some weird territory here. We're talking about soul children. Can you, what is he saying?
Well, first
he's talking
about a soul
He's
child.
talking about
He's talking
soul
about
children.
Bam. He is talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire teaming up with Kool and the Gang to no.
What is
he's
he
talking
saying?
about is he's saying right here, you as a human.
Yeah. I am a human.
Work with me on this.
I'm following
this
so
has a
far. I'm
payoff.
like 100% following.
Okay, you're a human.
I'm a human.
Why are you on the planet? Well, a lot of people never ask this question. We're too busy. We confuse busyness with the actual business of getting something done.
Productivity.
Yeah. So what we do is we say, why am I on the planet? Well, Napoleon Hill was of the belief that inside your soul, right here, inside, maybe some people think it's up here, but either way, it is here, right? He thinks that this right here, inside you, there is this thing called your why. So I want you to ask yourself right now, why am I motivated, or what are my goals? Why am I on the planet?
Okay, so
what do I want to do?
We're asking ourselves this right now.
Yeah, and it's usually
What's your why? Is that what we're asking ourselves?
Yes, and it's usually the intersection of something you like,
Okay.
or something you have a passion about,
Okay.
or something you're interested in. There's usually something in here. This kind of becomes your why.
Okay.
So your why, though, view them like your kids.
Okay.
So now you go here and you say, this is my kid. Now, those of you who don't have kids, I know you can still relate to this because I have a little bit of a conspiracy theory. I believe that everybody watching it at some point was a kid.
Whoa.
But here's a kid. You know, kids usually got their crazy hair going on. They're like, I don't want to wash my hair, Dad.
Fascinating theory.
So this kid, though, this is the kid. If your kid was going to be attacked, your kid was in danger, you saw a car coming for your kid runs in the road, your kid is hungry.
Yeah.
Anytime your kid is involved in danger, anytime that danger comes out there, you as an adult, you put the smack down and you do whatever you have to do to prevent your child from danger.
Right.
You need to do the same freaking thing with your goals.
Wow.
So your goals, if you have a desire to we've got one guy on our team who wants to build a dream center to help out people who are less fortunate. Awesome. Another guy on our team has a real big desire to start his own business someday.
Right.
Great. Another guy wants to do missions work. Got one guy who wants to write a book.
So you're saying
Protect those, guard those. That's the children. That's like, you got to protect them like they're your kids.
Protect your dreams.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to start kind of break it down like fractions here. Break it down. All right, like fractions. How is our goal supposed to impact us? How are our dreams and goals supposed to impact us on a daily basis?
Well, those goals, if they are the children of your soul, I mean, if you're a parent, you know that your kids, I think about my kids all the time. When I'm not with my kids, I think about my kids. When my kids are with me, I'm thinking about my kids. When my kids are at someone's house, I hope they're doing the right thing. I'm thinking about my kids. You want to think about your dreams all the time. It's your dreams.
They should be on our mind a lot.
All the time. And if you're a parent, you got to be thinking about your goals and your kids. All day, you got to be thinking about it. And if you think about it, if you marinate on it, if you marinate, rotisserie style. Marinating, if you pray on it, if you meditate on it, if you begin to put it on your mirror, put your goals on your mirror, tape them to your mirror, tape them to your dashboard, put them on your phone. If you begin to make it the all-consuming, you begin to get this thing called, I'm getting excited about it. Oh man, I didn't realize it was going to get this good.
On.
Right here, this is the fire of desire, and this is what is required if you want to have big success. The fire of desire. If you don't have
Fire of desire.
Yeah, because if you don't have the fire, I'm just telling you, if you have that fire, this thing called enthusiasm, getting a little bit deep, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to give it to you. I didn't have a degree, so it takes me a minute to write things. Okay, so enthusiasm. The word enthusiasm, there's a word called theos, okay? Theos is the Greek word for God, okay? That's what that word means. And enthusiasm is it means God within. So in theory, if you believed in God, it's like having God within you. That's the kind of fire of desire you need. Like you believe, it's like, how would you act, even if you don't believe in God?
Yeah.
Pretend that the amoeba that created the planet or the Big Bang was inside you or God was inside you. If God is inside you, That's what the word enthusiasm means. And that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of fire of desire, that's what you need to put behind your goals. So you need to define your goals until they begin to get hot. They start to heat up. And if you know your goals, I'll tell you, you say, well, how do I know if I have goals? How do I know if I found the goals? Is this the right goal?
Right.
If they wake you up early and they keep you up at night.
That's big.
That is a goal. If you don't have a goal that keeps you up at night and wakes you up early, it's not a goal. If you don't think about it in the shower, something wrong.
So what's the action item that we can take here?
Think about your goals right now.
Okay.
Call a lifetime out, go sit on a lily pad, sit on a rock, go to the sports bar, wherever your happy place is. If you need to get in a fast car, drive. If you want, whatever you got to do, just do that. Think about your goals. Figure it out.
Okay, so that's the action item. You got to think about your goals. What happens if we don't begin with the end in mind? That's the principle here. But what's the danger of not beginning with the end in mind?
Well, then you'll fall for anything. If you're not going to stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. You begin to be, well, multi-level sounds like a good idea. Oh, a job at this company sounds like a good idea. Maybe I should move here. Maybe I should join this. Maybe I should join that.
Right.
Maybe I should. And then you start to see these people who are going through their 4th job in a row they don't like.
Right.
Their 7th gym they joined and didn't go to. The 13th thing, you just drift.
You've got to have that.
Drifting is more dangerous than just outwardly failing.
But the goals keep you focused.
Yes.
Okay, I love it. Principle number 2 here, okay? The importance of building your reputation. I got another notable quotable here, okay? There's another notable quotable, and it's from Warren Buffett.
Man.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah, he's actually a big deal. People know him.
Wow. All right. Well, this is what Warren Buffett says, the big deal. He says, it takes a lifetime to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently.
Yeah.
That's some wisdom that he's dropping, that notable quotable. Yeah. Why is this important, though, to make a whole principle on during this episode?
This is important because if you're somebody watching this and you're like, dude, I do the right thing most of the time.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I'm just being real. This is me being over the top. Again, I'm raw today. I'm not wearing makeup. I'm not doing that whole thing. I'm just trying to keep it real, old school, raw. This is what happens is I'm going about my day, and I honestly, most people who know me say as a general rule, you are a somewhat, I tend to be pretty upbeat. You know what I mean?
I just want to say I love your claymations.
Yeah, these
I
are.
just love your claymations.
Yeah, this is actually its hair. It's
beautiful.
Yeah. So, but the other thing is, I am going through my day, and I'm feeling pretty good about my day, feeling good about my life, feeling good about my wife, feeling good about my hair. Just the whole deal's going on.
Oh yeah.
But then what happens is just yesterday, I get to work, got my tie on. Again, I'm feeling good.
Was it a red tie?
Yeah, it was a red tie. And if you're watching this, I'm telling you, I'm drawing this because I want you to think about this. This is you. You are starting off. You are goal-orientated. You are happy.
Okay.
This is what happens.
What happens?
I have a person who comes to me and says, this is a company I consult with, and they say, I want you to know that, I don't feel like my boss is treating me right. I don't want to tell the boss. I just wanted you to know. I said I didn't get an email. Get the whole text message thing. So they're talking bad about someone. We'll call this gossip.
Okay.
They're dumping. They're saying they don't like their boss, and the boss is my client.
Okay.
Right? Then I deal with that. Then I have someone that straight up just lies to me. This is just yesterday. Someone who just straight up is telling me an unbelievable story that's not at any point true, but we're here recording, we're doing stuff. I know it's not true. I don't want to get into it, but it's not true at all. Then I have a guy who used to work with us, who is literally, he used to work here years ago, not for Thrive, but for a different company. Okay. And he is literally destroying his life, and you can see him destroying the life of his life and his kids on Facebook. Wow. So you can see just this destruction of a family, right?
So what's the impact of all this?
What happens is that now it starts to affect, if I'm not careful, if I'm not coached up, if I don't have my goals, if I'm not enthusiastic, it will begin to affect my mindset. Here we go. This is what you would do if you don't value your reputation. You would call this person and you would say, listen, I think you are a beep, and you would just unload and you'd hurt yourself by going off at them.
Okay.
Then the person who's lying, you're going to pull them aside and you're going to begin to just unload on them in a way that's maybe not healthy.
But why should we not do those things, though?
Because it will hurt you. It'll hurt your reputation. So this guy with the family, destroying the family, I literally yesterday, I almost called the guy and I wanted to just be like, I'm going to bring some slap knowledge to your cranium. You're messing up your family, bro. But it's not, but you understand that your reputation is something that you take with you. It follows you around.
Okay.
Your brand, you talk about branding, your brand is what people think of when they think of your name.
Well,
and if I went off on those three, my reputation would not be very good.
Okay, well, let's take it a step further then. For these three people you're talking about, how has their lack of concern for their reputation impacted them, I guess, in your eyes or other people's eyes?
In all three cases, the person in the top right, I know they're being fired by their boss for being just lazy.
That's because, for being lazy, but then also, they don't care about their reputation at all.
Yeah, they're going to, this is like their third or fourth job in a row they've been fired from. This person in the middle, that's the same deal. They're going to be in a bad spot. And this person at the bottom is chronically unemployed or underemployed. I can't think of an employer that thinks a good thing about this person. And I know that their family is being destroyed.
So would you say that a lot of this is because they don't care or aren't concerned with their reputation? Or what
Absolutely. And it's so absolutely. And so there's really two lessons you can get out of this. One is, you personally can't let your reputation be destroyed because of the emotion of the stuff you're going through.
Okay.
But also, people over here who are dealing with drama, most of us, we wake up every day with matches. And a lot of times we can set ourselves on fire in a good way or a bad way. We can set ourselves on fire in a kind of a controlled burn where you're enthusiastic and you're on fire and you're feeling good. Or you can set yourself on fire where you create all sorts of dramas and problem and you're writing crazy mess on Facebook. And no.
So what if I'm sitting here and I'm hearing what you're saying about reputation, but I just don't understand what the value of caring about my reputation is? What do I gain from having a good reputation? What does it matter?
All right, well, right now you are in, we'll call this Resume 2.0. We're now in the world of Resume 2.0.
Because I feel like people hear, character, reputation, care about it, but I don't think that I think it's more of just little fun sayings. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why does it really matter?
All right, here it is. Your Google trail is going to equal either a fail or getting the job. It's either the fail or a well.
Trail.
Yeah, so if I Google your name, I write articles, I contribute to different magazines, and so when I write stuff, people write crazy mess underneath it.
Yeah.
People will write something like, well, you hate people and I hate you, and I just, because anytime you do anything at all, people are going to come out and criticize you.
Sure.
However, what happens is if you go on to Google, there's one guy I know. Years ago, he was, it's like 7, 8 years ago, he was dating somebody. This is first when Google now has become like the thing you do,
Right.
But he's dating somebody. I remember just Googling her and going, oh no. And you can see court records, you can see mug shots, you can see everything. You can see a trail of fail that was following them. And that reputation, you don't think that affects her ability to get a job?
Yeah.
This lady can't find a job. Why? Because you Google her name and you see just utter abysmal abominations of perpetual failure.
What's awesome too is it can have a huge positive effect. I read in Forbes the other day, it actually said, quote, a Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which found that referred candidates were twice as likely to get interviews and 40% more likely to be hired than any other candidates. That's a direct correlation with your reputation.
Yeah.
Somebody that's actually going to refer you and put your name to endorse you.
And to further add on to that, I know countless executives who tell me that like nearly 3/4 of their staff is a referral.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who you know definitely impacts where you can go.
Forbes also said 41% of all new jobs were a result of networking.
Networking, again, we're not talking about resume sending, we're talking about networking. The problem is, if I want to hire you right now, and I Google your name and it's nothing but badness, you need to start to fix that. You got to start to get real about your reputation.
Or if you've got two candidates, you don't know either of them, but your good friend is saying, hey, I know this guy, his reputation, I can vouch for him.
And how do you build a good reputation? I just want to clarify.
Let's do it.
You want to be, your brand is what people think of when they think of your name.
One more time.
Your brand is what people think of when they think of your name. So I say, Caleb Taylor, Clay Clark, and no matter what I want people to think of, they usually will go, pale guy, a little bit odd, but passionate about business or whatever. But people are going to think of whatever they think about.
Right.
And your reputation, that brand is what it matters. So what you need to begin to do is you need to exceed the expectations of your boss and of the customers by 15%.
So is this an action item right here?
Right now.
So you're saying today, action item, what are we doing?
Exceed the expectations of every person you come in contact with by 15%. How do you do that? Well, if you said you'd be at church at 9, get there at 8:45. If you said you would show up somewhere and you said, hey, I'll bring a salad. Bring a salad and beverages.
Right.
If you said, hey, I'll call you back. Call them back a little bit early. You said, hey, I owe you $10. I do this all the time. If I owe someone $10, I usually write them a check for $11. I do it all the time. So if there's ever like a miscommunication about payment, I usually try to put an extra few bucks on there.
Right.
Just because I don't want a reputation of being a greedy miser. I want people to know that I care. And you got to decide. Your reputation is built. It's like you're building a beach, one piece of sand at a time.
Whoa.
And it's like over time, all those little seemingly mindless things add up to a beautiful or nasty beach.
That's a great analogy. All right, let's move on to principle number 3 here. This is invest in your practical education to increase your compensation. Okay, invest in your practical education to increase your compensation. So I have a little notable quotable here.
Yeah.
From Jim Rohn. He says, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Now, Jim Rohn, just for anybody that doesn't know, can you expound a little bit? I know he's an entrepreneur. He went from rags to riches. Incredible story. Why should we listen to him?
He's a guy who, during his lifetime, he passed away about 3 years ago, but he's a guy who struggled financially and got a job in sales and then worked his way up that company into another company, ended up starting some companies. And his whole thing is like he realized that success is a choice. But he began to realize that it's great because you have let me just show this to you real quick. You have 3 groups of people, okay? And I know this, I'm overgeneralizing, but I'm just trying to help you get it. You have one group of people who are like, I quit caring. Then you have people who have this mindset where they say, I want success, okay? But then the other ones are going to say, I create my success. These are your 3 groups.
Right.
And so what happens is, quit caring. I'll give you an example. We've all done it. You get to a point in your life where you're like, it's 3 a.m. Let's go to IHOP. And we go to IHOP and we're like, I'll just have a pancake and then a waffle and a syrup.
Why have we never done
ice
this?
cream and a...
You want to do this tonight?
The last time I went to IHOP at night, I was there and Jose Canseco was there. And that is a whole separate story, but that was a beautiful time.
Networking at its finest.
Yeah, I was there. Jose Canseco was there. It was
incredible.
Amazing. But it's a true story. But anyway, so I go, but you go and you start to get, I'll get whipped cream, and you go, I shouldn't. But you're like, well, okay. And then you get that, and you get some ice cream scoops, and pretty soon you walk out and you're like, I went to IHOP. And you regret it, but you are like, you said, I quit caring about just, there's no regards to health choices here.
Gotcha.
The other group says, they say, I don't even care about, this group, same group says, I don't even care about success. I'm just going to buy anything.
Gotcha.
If a TV, flat screen TV, I'm buying it. Buying a car, and really they've started to say, I quit caring. This would be Dennis Rodman. Okay, Dennis Rodman, he's over here. Good job, Dennis. Now, want success. Want success is where you say, this is where most people fall. This is where we say, what are your goals? I want a good family.
Okay.
I want to have a good job. I want to just make some money.
But they're not
I
doing
just want to be
anything
a
about
good person. I want to be, well, they don't understand. This group over here, though. This group over here. This is you, guys, because you're on Thrive. This is you. This is you because you're a person of character. This is you because God has a huge plan for your life. This is you because you have a plan for your life. This is you because you are in that rare group. You understand trade-offs.
Right.
And you say, if I want a great family, I'm willing to make those trade-offs. I'm willing to not go to that club and to go with my family.
Right.
Job. I'm willing to get there early, and I'm willing to go to bed early to do well at my job. I'm willing to not buy things I want now so I can buy the things I want later.
This is getting deep.
I'm willing to go over and above and treat you the way I want to be treated, even though you treated me wrong, because I want to be a good person.
Right. This is deep. All right, let's jump back into here, okay? This is his quote again, one more time for us. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So let's kind of jump on in this right here. What is he saying?
What he's saying, and I want to go back to this, he's saying is that you understand the trade-off that you need to begin to exchange your time, to learn. Now, on behalf of anybody who's ever been in the formal education world, I want to issue an apology to you, even though I'm not a part of that, because it's so terrible that when you hear about learning you don't want to do it because you think it's going to be horrible because your humanities class was awful, your psychology course was terrible, maybe you had one or two professors you liked, but you didn't learn anything. So right now, when you hear the word learn, what you're hearing, oh crap, it's another spelling test. Oh great, I got to memorize papyrus, cuneiform, definitions, things that don't matter. Oh great, I'm going to study the pyramids. A lot of you guys right now, when I say learning, you are thinking about King Tut and the pyramids. That's what you're doing. But you know what? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about learning to earn.
We are not talking about King Tut.
You might be, but I'm not talking about King Tut.
You're not.
The point is, what I'm saying is, we need to take time to learn how to earn more, how to communicate, how to increase our sales skills, how to increase our customer service, how to organize our time, how to make a pro forma, things that make us more money. Because if you make more money, as a general rule, it takes some money to afford to take time off with family. It takes some money to take the family on the trip. It takes some money to live in a house. It takes some money.
Jim Rohn is saying that's the way to do it.
He's saying that, but the problem, I want you to know this, I agree with Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn is a phenomenal teacher, and if you listen to his stuff, he is entertaining, he's engaging. But the problem is, if you're watching this and you hear that quote and you hear the word, anytime we hear the word learn, we're like, ring, 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 ring. I've heard about that. We worry. We start to say, I've heard about learning, and I've heard people don't come back once they go on the campus. They get their PhD, their MBA.
No, but the most successful people in the world, though, care about not just education, but that self-education, that self-improvement education.
Absolutely, and that's why we've built Thrive, is to help you do that.
All right, JT, so hypothetically, in your mind, what is the purpose of having a business?
To get you to your goals. So it's a vehicle to get you to your destination.
Whoa. And would you need profits to get there? I mean, is when you have a business that's successful, in your mind, in your expert opinion, would you need profits to get you to your goals?
Yeah, because if you have a $15 million business, but you have $15 million of expenses, it's kind of pointless.
Holy crap!
All right, so the question I would have here for you, if you could take 10 minutes or less and see if you could save $3,000 a year by reducing your credit card fees, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Holy crap!
Why would somebody out there who's listening right now who has a sane mind, why would they not go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card to schedule a 10-minute consultation to see if they can reduce their credit card fees by at least $3,000 a year.
Why would they not do it?
Yeah, why would they not do it?
Maybe because they didn't understand how you said the website.
This tree is a symbol of the spirit of the Griswold family Christmas.
No, that's clear. Okay, so that could be true. So I would encourage everybody to check out thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. What would be another reason why someone would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save $3,000 or more on credit card fees?
Maybe they think it is a waste of time and that it won't. It's not possible.
If there's somebody out there that's making more than $3,000 every 10 minutes and they're like, nah, that's not worth my time.
We getting there, right money. We getting there, right money.
There's probably someone out there that would think that.
Well, I'll just tell you, folks, if you're out there today and you're making less than $3,000 per 10 minutes, I would highly recommend that you go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card because you can compare rates, you can save money. And, the big goal, in my opinion, of building a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you have to maximize your profits.
Holy crap.
Now, one way to maximize your profits is to increase your revenue. Another way to do it is to decrease your expenses.
It's a profit deal. It takes the pressure off.
JT, is there any other reason why somebody would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save a total of $3,000 a year on average?
I am at a loss and I cannot think of any other.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really? Stop looking at me, Swan.
Well, let me tell you a good story here real quick here. I actually, years ago, compared rates with this company here called IPS. It's Integrated Payment Services. And I scheduled a consultation. I don't know that I was skeptical. I just thought, whatever, I'll take 10 minutes. I'll compare rates.
I can't tell.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
And in my case, my particular case, I save over $20,000 a year.
Holy crap!
Wow. Which is, like groceries when my wife goes to the organic stores.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great, okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
Well, this isn't gonna be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Trisha, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
That's the difference between eating organic and not organic. So because my wife eats organic, I had to take the 10 minutes needed to compare rates to save the $20,000 a year on credit card fees just for one of my companies.
One question, what's the brand name of the clock?
The brand name of the clock, Rod. Do we have it? Brand name of the clock. It's an elegant from Ridgeway. It's from Ridgeway.
Let's buy
the clock
and sell the fireplace.
So I encourage everybody out there, go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. You schedule a free consultation, request information. A member of our team will call you. They'll schedule a free consultation. It should take you 10 minutes or less. And then they're going to compare rates and see if they can't save you more than $3,000 a year off of your credit card processing.
You were hoping what?
I wouldn't owe you money at the end of the day.
No, you don't owe us money.
Because at the end of the day, the goal of a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. In order to do that, you need to create additional profits.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut, and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. One month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Colaw with Colaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like him most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrivetime Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems, so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I
want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you. If we go back 8 years ago, think about the number of clients you had back then versus the number of clients you have now. As a percentage, what has been the growth over the past 8 years, do you think? We got to inspire somebody out there who just doesn't have the time to listen to their calls.
Okay, so Clay, it's like I would go up and down from about $10,000 a month up to about $40,000, but it's up and down roller coaster, and so now we've got it to where we're in excess of 100 clients.
That's awesome.
And so I would have anywhere from 5 clients to 20 clients on my own with networking, but I had no control over it. I didn't. Without the systems, you're going to be victimized by your own business.
For somebody out there who struggles with math, if you, let's say that your average number of clients was 30 and you go to 100, as a percentage, what is that?
I have doubled every year since working with you. So I've doubled in clients, I've doubled in revenue every year. It's 100% growth every year I've worked with. Now, so I'm looking, we've been good friends 7-8 years, and I've got doubled 5 times.
Which is just incredible. I mean, the first time you do it, that's one thing, but when you do it repeatedly,
yeah,
I mean, that's unbelievable.
We're working our Blessed Assurance off this year to double. We're planning on doubling again. We're incorporating some new things in there to really help us do it, but we are going to double again this year. I started coaching, but it would go up and down, Clay. That's when I came to you, as I was going up and down, and I wanted to go up and up instead of up and down. And so that's when it needed a system. So creating a system is you have nailed down specific steps that you're going to take no matter how you feel, no matter the results. You lean into them and you do them regardless of what's happening. You lean into them and it will give you X number of leads. You follow up with those leads, turns into sales. Well, I tell you, it's if you don't have a script and you don't have a system, then every day is a whole new creation. You're creating a lot of energy just to figure out what are you going to do.
Right.
And the best executives, Peter Drucker is a father of modern management. He said, the most effective executives make one decision a year. What you do is you make a decision, what is your system, and then you work like the Dickens to make sure you follow that system. And so that's really what it's all about. So with a script here, we have a brand new gal that just came in working for us. She nailed down the script, and she's been nailing down appointments. Usually we try to get one appointment for every 100 calls. We make 200 to 300 calls a day per rep.
Right.
And she's been nailing down 5 and 8 appointments a day.
Somebody out there is having a hard time.
That script.
So she's making how many calls a day?
She's making between 200 and 300 calls a day.
Whoa. And our relationship is weird in that we do. If someone were to buy an Apple computer today,
yeah,
and or let's say you bought a personal computer, a PC, the computer is made by, let's say, Dell, but then the software in the computer would be Microsoft, let's say, or Adobe or whatever that is. So I basically make the systems, and you're like the computer and I'm like the software. It's kind of how I would describe our relationship. Yeah. Tim, I want to ask you this. You and I reconnected. I think it was in the year 2000 and what was it? Maybe 2010. Is that right? 2011, maybe, or no, maybe further down the road. Maybe 2013.
2012.
Okay, so 2012, and at that time I was 5 years removed from the DJ business, and you were how many years removed from tax and accounting software?
It was about 10, 11 years.
We met. How did we re-meet? What was the first interaction? There was some interaction where you and I first connected. I just remember that somehow you and I went to Hideaway Pizza. But do you remember when we first reconnected?
Yeah. Well, we had that speaking thing that.
There it was. So it was Victory Christian Center. I was speaking there.
My name is Robert Redmond. I actually first met Clay
almost 3 years ago to the day. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but I wasn't working with him at the time. I asked to see him and just ask him some questions to help, direct my life, to get some mentorship. But I've been working with Clay for now just over a year. The role I play here is a business coach, business consultant. I work with different businesses implementing best practice processes and systems that I have learned here by working with Clay. And the experience working here has, to put it real plainly, has been just life-changing. I have not only learned new things and have gained new knowledge, but I have gained a whole new mindset that I believe wherever I end up will serve me well throughout the rest of my life. Since working with Clay, I have learned so much. I mean, I would like to say almost everything about business in terms of the different categories. I haven't learned it all, but I've learned all about marketing. I've learned about advertising. I've learned about branding. I've learned how to create a sales process for organizations in any industry. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to create repeatable systems and processes and hold people accountable. How to hire people. It's almost like every aspect of a business you can learn. I have learned a lot in those different categories. And then, again, the mindset that I've gained here has been huge. Working here, you can't be a mediocre person. You are a call to a higher standard of excellence. And then as you're called to that standard here, you begin to see those outcomes in every area of your life. That standard of excellence that you want to implement no matter what you're involved in. I would like to describe the other people that work with Clay are people that are going somewhere with their life. Marshall in the group interview talks about how the best fits for this organization are the people that are goal-oriented. So they're on their own trajectory, and we're on our own trajectory. And the best fits are those people where there can be a mutually beneficial relationship, that as we pursue our goals and we help the business pursue those goals, the business helps us pursue our goals as well. And so I'd say people that are driven, people that want to make something of their lives, people that are goal-oriented, they're focused, and they're committed to overcoming any adversity that may come their way. Clay's passion for helping business owners grow their businesses it's unique in that I don't know if there's anyone else that can be as passionate. Whenever a business starts working with Clay, it's almost as like Clay is running that business in the sense that he has something at stake. He's just serving them. They're one of his clients, but it's as if he is actively involved in the business. Whenever they have a win, he's posting it all over his social media. He's shouting it across the room here at Thrive. He's sending people encouraging messages. He can kind of be that life coach and business coach in terms of being that a motivator and that champion for people's businesses. It's again unique because there's no one else I've seen get so excited about and passionate about other people's businesses. The kind of people that wouldn't like working with Clay are people that are satisfied with mediocrity. People that want to get through life by just doing enough, by just getting by. People who are not looking to develop themselves, people who are not coachable, people who think that they know it all and they're unwilling to change. I would say those are the type of people. In short, anyone that's content with mediocrity would not like working with Clay. So if you're meeting Clay for the first time, the advice I'd give you is definitely come ready to take tons of notes. Every time Clay speaks, he it gives you a wealth of knowledge that you don't want to miss. I remember the first time that I met Clay, I literally carried a notebook with me all around. I was looking at this notebook the other day, actually. I carried a notebook with me all around, and I just took tons of notes. I filled the entire notebook in about 3 or 4 months, just from being around Clay, following him, and learning from him. And then I would say come coachable. Be open to learning something new. Be open to challenging yourself. Be open to learning and adjusting parts about you that need to be adjusted.